What if the most powerful medicine cabinet you'll ever own is sitting right outside your back door, growing quietly in the soil, waiting for you to pay attention? Most people spend hundreds of dollars every year on supplements, tinctures, and over-the-counter remedies that their grandparents never needed because their grandparents grew their own. Today, we are talking about 14 plants, living medicine herbs that you plant once and keep harvesting for years, some of them for decades, and every single one of them has been used by healers, herbalists, and everyday people for generations to treat real problems. If you have never thought seriously about growing your own herbal medicine garden, this video is going to change that. If you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell right now, because we put out content every week about growing smarter, living more self-sufficiently, and building the kind of garden that actually works for you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 14 herbs you are most excited to grow, and let us get into it. So here is the thing. When most people think about herb gardens, they picture a few pots of basil on the kitchen windowsill. That is fine, but that is not what we are doing today. These 14 herbs are different. They come back year after year with almost no effort. They multiply and spread on their own, and they produce harvests that you can dry, tincture, make into teas, turn into salves, or just use fresh whenever you need them. One planting and you are set up for life. Let us start. Number 1, aloe vera. If you live in a warm climate, aloe vera might be the single most useful plant you can grow. And if you live somewhere cold, you grow it in a pot and bring it inside in winter. The gel inside those thick, fleshy leaves is one of the most well-studied topical remedies in the world. Burns, sunburns, cuts, skin irritation, minor wounds, aloe handles all of it. You slice a leaf, squeeze out the gel and apply it directly. It is that simple. Aloe is also nearly impossible to kill. It thrives on neglect, survives drought, and produces pups around the base that you can separate and repot to give away or expand your collection. One plant becomes 10 plants without you doing anything. Plant it, forget it, and reach for it the next time something burns. Number 2, lavender. Lavender is one of those herbs that people think of as decorative, but the medicinal value here is serious. It is a powerful calming herb. The dried flowers, the essential oil, even just brushing your hand across a fresh plant releases compounds that help lower anxiety and support sleep. Beyond that, lavender has antimicrobial properties, which means it works well on minor skin infections and insect bites. It is a perennial in most of the United States that blooms reliably every summer, fills your yard with one of the best scents in nature, and attracts pollinators that make your whole garden more productive. You harvest the flower spikes just before full bloom, dry them in bundles, and you have medicine, aromatherapy, and culinary flavoring all from one plant. Number 3, rosemary. Rosemary is not just for roasting chicken. This is a plant that has been studied for its effects on memory and circulation, and traditional herbalists used it for headaches, muscle pain, and digestion for hundreds of years. In the right climate, rosemary is an evergreen shrub that just keeps growing and growing. Some plants live for 20 years or more. You can harvest sprigs year-round, dry them for tea or cooking, use the oil for topical applications, or simply keep a fresh plant in your kitchen and snip from it constantly. It is drought-tolerant once established. Deer tend to avoid it, and it roots easily from cuttings, which means one plant can become many. Number 4, echinacea. Echinacea is one of the most popular immune-supporting herbs in the world, and it is also one of the most beautiful perennials you can grow. Those purple coneflowers bloom every summer, attract butterflies and bees, and once the plant is established, it comes back stronger each year. You use the roots, leaves, and flowers. Dried and made into tea or tincture, echinacea is traditionally used at the first sign of a cold or infection to help shorten how long you feel sick. It self-seeds readily, which means it slowly spreads through your garden on its own. Plant a few, and within a few years, you have a whole medicinal patch working for you. Number 5, calendula. Calendula might be the most versatile skin medicine herb on this entire list. The bright orange and yellow flowers are harvested continuously all season long, dried, and infused into oil to make salves, creams, and balms that soothe rashes, dry skin, cracked heels, eczema flare-ups, and wound healing. It is one of the gentlest herbs there is, safe for children and adults alike. Here is the great news for gardeners. Calendula self-seeds so aggressively that once you grow it once, you will almost certainly have it coming back on its own every year. It loves cool weather, which means it blooms in spring and fall when a lot of other flowers are taking a break. Keep harvesting the flowers and the plant keeps producing. Stop harvesting and it sets seed for next year. Now, before we go any further, if this video is useful to you, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this kind of content, and we are just getting warmed up. There are 9 more of these herbs to cover, and the ones coming up get really interesting. Number 6. Elderberry. Elderberry has had a massive comeback in recent years for good reason. The dark purple berries are one of the most well-researched herbs for supporting immune function and reducing the duration and severity of respiratory illness. People make elderberry syrup, elderberry gummies, elderberry tinctures, all from a plant that grows into a large shrub or small tree and produces more berries than you could ever use. Elderberry is a fast grower. You plant it once, and within 2 to 3 years you have a mature plant that fruits heavily every single summer. The flowers are medicinal too, and make a beautiful, delicate tea or elderflower cordial. Just make sure you are growing the right species, Sambucus nigra or Sambucus canadensis, and that you cook the berries before eating them in quantity. Number 7. Bee balm. Bee balm is one of those plants that gives you so much and asks for so little. It is in the mint family, which tells you a lot, vigorous, spreading, practically impossible to kill. The flowers are edible and stunning, ranging from deep red to lavender to pink. The leaves make a spicy oregano meets mint tea that is traditionally used for sore throats, congestion, and digestive complaints. Bee balm spreads through underground runners, which means you plant it once and it slowly fills a space over the years. Divide it every few years to keep it productive and to share starts with friends. The pollinators absolutely love it. Bees, hummingbirds, and butterflies all show up when bee balm is in bloom. Number 8. Ginger. Yes, you can grow ginger in the United States, and once you do, you will wonder why you ever bought it at the grocery store. Ginger root is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory and anti-nausea remedies in the herbal world. Fresh ginger tea is used for upset stomach, motion sickness, nausea during pregnancy, sore throats, and general inflammation. In warm climates, ginger is a perennial that spreads underground and just keeps producing. In colder climates, you grow it in containers and bring it inside for winter. You plant a piece of fresh ginger root from the grocery store, keep it warm and somewhat moist, and it sprouts and grows into a lush tropical plant that you harvest from in the fall. Save some root to replant, and you have a continuous supply forever. Number 9. Sage. Sage is one of the most underrated medicinal herbs in the American garden. People know it as a Thanksgiving seasoning, but traditional herbalists have used sage for sore throats, night sweats, and menopausal symptoms for a very long time. A strong sage tea used as a gargle is one of the oldest and most effective remedies for throat irritation. Sage is a woody perennial that gets more productive over the years. It tolerates drought well, handles poor soil, and the silvery green leaves are beautiful in the garden all season. You can harvest continuously through spring and summer, dry the leaves easily, and have medicine that stores for a year or more in a sealed jar. Number 10. Comfrey. Comfrey is powerful enough that some people call it knitbone, and that name comes from its traditional use in helping broken bones, sprains, and bruises heal faster. The leaves and roots contain allantoin, a compound that supports cell regeneration and tissue repair. Used as a poultice or infused in oil for a topical salve, comfrey is remarkably effective for joint pain, bruising, and wound healing on unbroken skin. Comfrey grows huge, leaves the size of dinner plates, and it comes back from the roots every spring with almost violent vigor. Once you plant comfrey, you essentially have it forever. The deep taproot breaks up compacted soil, and the leaves make excellent compost material. It is a healing herb and a garden workhorse at the same time. Number 11. Thyme. Thyme is tiny, but do not underestimate it. This low-growing perennial is packed with thymol, a naturally occurring compound with strong antimicrobial and antifungal properties. Thyme tea with honey is a centuries-old remedy for cough, bronchitis, and chest congestion that modern research has actually confirmed works well. It is one of the most cold-hardy herbs on this list, surviving well below freezing in most parts of the country. Plant it along a path or border, harvest sprigs freely for cooking and medicine, and it simply keeps growing. It also spreads slowly over time, filling gaps in the garden and releasing its scent every time you walk past it. Number 12. Peppermint. Peppermint is almost too easy. It spreads so aggressively that most gardeners are warned to keep it in containers, but that vigorous growth means you will never run out of it. Fresh peppermint tea is one of the best things in the world for an upset stomach, bloating, or a tension headache. The menthol in peppermint leaves creates that cooling sensation that also helps with sinus congestion when inhaled as a steam. Peppermint is a hybrid that does not produce viable seed, so it spreads entirely by runners underground, and once it is established, you have a permanent supply. Harvest it hard through the summer to keep it productive. Dry or freeze what you cannot use fresh, and it comes roaring back every spring. Number 13. Garlic chives. Garlic chives are one of the most overlooked herbs on this list, and that is a mistake. Unlike regular chives, garlic chives have a mild garlic flavor and flat leaves, and they are loaded with antimicrobial and immune-supporting compounds, similar to garlic cloves. They bloom in late summer with beautiful white flowers that pollinators love and that are completely edible. Garlic chives self-seed enthusiastically, so once you establish a clump, it slowly multiplies on its own. You can harvest the leaves all season for cooking, use them in teas, or incorporate them into tinctures. They are cold-hardy, low-maintenance, and produce more food and medicine per square foot than most herbs on this list. Number 14. Mullein. Mullein might be the most dramatic plant on this entire list. In its first year, it forms a rosette of enormous, impossibly soft, velvety leaves that sit low to the ground. In its second year, it sends up a flower spike that can reach 6 feet or more, covered in small yellow flowers. The leaves are the medicine here. Dried and used in a smoking blend or steeped in oil, mullein has a long history of use for respiratory support, helping to soothe irritated airways and loosen congestion. Mullein grows in poor, disturbed soil, roadsides, sunny slopes, and dry spots where almost nothing else will grow. It self-seeds readily, so once you have it, it comes back year after year. Plant it at the back of a bed or along a fence line and let it do its thing. So there you have it. 14 living medicine herbs, all of them perennial or self-seeding, all of them producing real harvests you can use for years, and all of them asking very little of you in return. The beautiful thing about starting a medicinal herb garden is that you do not have to do it all at once. Pick 2 or 3 from this list, the ones that feel most relevant to your health needs or most interesting to you, and plant them this season. Get comfortable with them, learn how they grow, start experimenting with drying and using them, and then expand from there. Over time, you build something that is genuinely yours, a garden that takes care of your family the way gardens used to. Before you go, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 14 herbs are you planning to plant first? Or maybe you are already growing one and you have tips to share. Drop it down there, because this community learns best from each other. If you found value in this video, share it with someone who would appreciate it, a friend who gardens, a family member who is interested in natural health, anyone who could use this information. And if you are not subscribed yet, now is the time. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and we will see you in the next video. Now go plant something.